Welcome back, trainers, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at Lucario in the Great League for the Fossil Cup. So in order to get the Lucario in the Great League, you're going to have to trade it and drop the IVs, as you can see on this one here. We do have a couple, but we're going to be going with this one. And we do have Counter, Power Up Punch, and Shadow Ball. We're going to be pairing it up with, we got Melmetal right here. I was just having a little fun. But we're going to go with Mawile and then Pelipper. That is going to be the team that we're going to have. And we're going to be leading with Pelipper. And let's see what we have going on. Now, when you vamp up this thing with Power Up Punch and its counter, whew, boy, it can be a force to be reckoned with. It really does put in the work for sure. All right, now seeing that everybody was able to get a bunch of Riolus, well, hopefully you should be able to just trade a bunch and drop the IVs. And now it's not going to be so difficult for people to get it in the Great League. And hopefully you can get yours as well. Now, remember, you do have to trade with somebody who doesn't have high friendship with you, so it can kind of tank in the IVs. I mean, I think you can have high friendship, and it can tank, depends. But yeah, anyways, with that said, let's see what we have going on here. If you do enjoy my videos, please give it a thumbs up. And I'm going to try to do my best to not talk about my back. Let's see what we have here. So we're up against Gyarados. Ooh, taking me out with a crunch. Bringing in Melmetal and Thunder Shocking them down, and then Thunder Shocking down. Registeel looking good. Next battle, we got, I think we're going to be using the full team here. Met with a Berserker, and this is okay. It's not the worst. They are going to be resisting our flying, but then our Weather Ball is going to be doing a good amount of damage, as Pelipper's attack is pretty good. And Berserker really can't take a hit too well. Bringing in the Lucario here. Now we still have two shields, and since they've used one, we're going to go ahead and shield this up. It is a close combat, and they're swapping into Escavalier. I'm going to go right for the Shadow Ball here. See if they want to use that last shield up, and they do want to use it, as a matter of fact, unfortunately. And they are going to be coming out of this with a lot of energy. Now we're in a weird position because they're going to be getting off a drill run, so I'm going to go ahead and bring in the Pelipper. See if we can survive this here. And they're hitting me with an Aerial Ace. Okay, so we go ahead and bring in the Mawile. Hopefully we're going to be able to handle whatever's in the back here. And, oh, Ferrothorn, oh, it's a wrap. Let's go. All right, Shadow Mawile. If you don't have one, I mean, you can use the regular one. That's fine. You know, it's still pretty much the same thing. Shadow's just doing that much more damage with Fire Fang. All right, and we're looking good. Mawile helping us take the win at the end there. Lucario putting in the work. Next battle, we're going to be met with a Kingdra, and this is whatever. It's no problem. We do have two steel types in the back, including a fairy as well. So I think I'm going to want to bring in Lucario and then farm them down depending upon if they use a shield, and we're going to get a shield out of them. That's perfect. And we'll let this go. I'm expecting an Octazooka, so they're going to be able to get a little bit more farm here. And we go down before throwing our damn Weather Ball. It is massively resisted, so whatever. I mean, it would have been nice to get that little bit of extra damage, but hey, it's okay. Shielding up that Octazooka, no attack drop. That's great, and we're able to farm them down as we do resist the Dragon Breath. And we're going to go right for the Shadow Ball. I didn't even see what they threw into the battle. It's going to be a Quagsire. Oh, yeah, we definitely need to land that. As a matter of fact, we should probably shield this up and do as much damage as we can, because Mawile doesn't really want to go up against this, as the fighting counter is doing neutral damage as well as stab. And they have a Ferrothorn, so I immediately swap into the Mawile. And we're looking good. It doesn't matter if they have 100 shields at this point. We're just going to be able to Fire Fang them down here and take the win. And we're looking good. Mawile and Lucario really put in the work there at the end. Met with a Registeel. This is not great, so I immediately swap into Lucario, and they're going to be bringing in a Swampert here. Now, let's see if I start baiting. I do believe we're going to use two shields and vamp up this Lucario, folks. Let's have a little fun. Let's raise this attack. Wait until they release a Shadow Riolu. Do you think they'll do that? I think they will. I think they will one day. And that is going to be freaking incredible. What about Shadow Conkeldurr? Oh boy. Yeah, that's going to be something right there. All right, so there's no shields. Let's go. All bets are on the table. What's going to happen here? We have a Ferrothorn, so we're going to go for the Power Up Punch. I mean, should I went for Shadow Ball here? I don't know if I would have made it, but nonetheless, that's okay. This is getting pretty interesting. Down goes Lucario. They immediately bring in the Registeel, and here's the thing. I've been in this matchup 1,000 times. They can get off a Focus Blast. It's not going to KO, and then their Lock-On is not going to KO. It's going to be very close with the Lock-On, but it's not going to quite be there. So they go for the Focus Blast. We do survive barely there. And taking them out, and immediately swapping, or they're going to be backing out, and we take that win and looking good. Awesome. What are we going to see for the next battle here? Okay, finally we have a decent lead up against Escavalier. They're going to be swapping into their Ferrothorn and immediately bring in our Mawile here. We're going to let this go. I think we let this Thunder go. Okay, never mind. We shield up the Thunder. All right. That's fine. We would have survived that, but hey, now we got full health here and well, a lot of energy in the Mawile. Let's see what they want to do. And they're bringing in a freaking Escavalier. Now, I feel like they just wanted me to use my energy here. And, wow. What do they got? It's a Pelipper in the back, so I immediately go for the Iron Head. It is resisted, but we raised our attack, and it is going to be getting Shadow plus Stab damage. All right, so they shielded up. We let this Weather Ball go. This is a wrap. We bring in our own Pelipper. Now, we could lose this here, and what we're going to do is catch a Hurricane with our Lucario for this matchup here. Unfortunately, it's not going to really do much for us, except for be a third shield. So we're swapping into Lucario, taking a Hurricane, one-shotting us, great. And all we're going to do is build up to 2 Weather Balls and then spam both of them in, and it'll be enough to take them out at this point. And we take the win. We really did take the long way home on this one here, folks, for sure, on the win on this battle. All right, good game. What are we going to see for the next one here? And we have a Quagsire. Okay, we'll take it. It's no problem. Everything in the back still doesn't really want to see it. Lucario can't put in the work. Mawile absolutely does not want to go up against it. We're going to shield up the first one, calling the Stone Edge, and we're going to go for the Weather Ball, hopefully getting a shield out of them here. And they're letting it go. Lovely. So at this point, I'm not even going to build up to the Hurricane. I'm just going to start spamming these Weather Balls, and we're going to be getting a shield. And now we've gotten them low enough to almost counter them down with Lucario. But they're going to be hitting me with a Stone Edge and then retreating into a Registeel. As I do hit the Weather Ball, we're going to go ahead and bring in the Lucario here. We've got one shield, and so do they. Now, I think what we're going to want to do here is do as much damage as we can and then let it go. Bring in the Mawile, and I do believe that Pelipper is low enough for us to almost farm it down. So let's see what happens. Bringing in the Mawile. Looking good. Show me the Ferrothorn in the back. What you got for me? And they're bringing in the Quagsire. Okay, let's go ahead and go for that power-up punch here. And we're getting the shield. And they have an Escavalier in the back, and we're able to take the... Wow. Do you see this damn Mawile? This stuff is insane. All right, so we're shielding this up here and swapping into Pelipper. And then they accept their fate. We take the win, and we're moving it on to our next battle here. What are we going to see with that Pelipper? A Shadow Mawile. There it is. That's a good lead for us. They're going to be swapping into Swampert. And since I still do have 2 Pokemon that can handle that Shadow Mawile, our own Shadow Mawile as well as Lucario, we're going to go ahead and just stay here because both of the Pokemon in the back do not want to see a Swampert here. So we're going to go ahead and just go ahead... Weather Balls, huh? I just don't want to hit those Hurricanes. All right, here we go. Trying to get shields and letting this all go here. Going for the next Weather Ball. Let's see if they want to shield it up. And they're letting it go. Sounds good to me. And what's going to happen? Now, at this point, we can swap in because we have double counters. Oh, yeah, exactly. So we immediately bring in the Mawile up against their Ferrothorn, hitting the Power-Up Punch. And what we're going to want to do is just let this go. If they go for Power Punch, there's no need to shield this up. We're going to bring in the Lucario, farm them down. They're not going to get to another charge move, and that is a wrap. There's really nothing they can do. And we take the win. Looking good. Moving it on. It's a pretty good team here. Had a lot of fun with it. Mawile is just so damn good. I'm not too big of a fan of Pelipper, but I gotta admit, it is amazing for sure. All right, so we're met with a Ludicolo with Razor Leaf, which is doing a decent amount of damage as we are going to be part water. Going for the Hurricane, unfortunately, they're shielding it up as we do get to the next one. Razor Leaf does take forever to build up energy, so they are going to... Well, it looks like they're farming us down. I'm sure they had our charge move ready to go already. They just wanted to take us out while using 2 shields. We got both shields out of them, though. All right, that's pretty good. Let's get it. Bringing in Lucario. Now, we're shielding it up because it still would have done a decent amount of damage. Now, we both got to our charge move at the same time, but Lucario is going to be able to win the CMP up against the Swampert, and we take him out. Let's go. And they have a Fortress in the back. I bring in the Mawile, and we're going to melt that thing. Yeah, that's a wrap there. Love to see those grass and steel types when you have the Mawile in the back. Next battle, show me a good lead. We're going to see a mirror match, except for there's a shiny. Let's see what we have going on here. Shadow Pelipper, eh? What about that in the future? That's going to be pretty annoying. It's not going to be able to take a hit, but it's going to hit like crazy. So they're baiting me with a Weather Ball. So I'm going to go ahead and go for my own here. Let's see if we can get a shield. And we do. All right. And going for the Hurricane immediately here. Let's go ahead and shield this up. All right. Hitting me with a Hurricane. And I'm pretty sure they let this one go. And yeah, they do. Which you're going to bring into the battle here, Ferrothorn. So I immediately swap because we do have 2 counters to that, which are going to be the Mawile and then the Lucario here. Well, we have no more shields, so we're going to unfortunately have to let that Thunder go. I was thinking I could almost counter them down, but I didn't want them to snipe me and I waste all this energy, so I just go ahead and power up punch them. And they do have a Lucario back there. Now this is getting pretty interesting. I got one counter in. It takes... I don't think they're going to be able to make it to Shadow Ball. And we get to the last one here right after this. This is going to be power punch. Yeah, Mawile is going to be able to take the win for us here yet again, folks. Let's keep it moving here. Next battle, Pelipper up against Jellicent. I'll take it. We do have Shadow Ball in the Lucario, but it's not going to be ideal, and Mawile just want nothing to do with that water type. Alright, so this is a great matchup for us here. Well, I wouldn't say great, but it's the best out of all the Pokemon that we do have. Going for the Hurricane right out the gate. Please don't shield this up, and of course they do. If I would have went for the Weather Ball and built up to the Hurricane, they would have definitely let it go. It's so crazy. Sometimes I'm like, is this real? I mean, that's great. That's a great call and all, but like, really? All right, so we retreat with energy. We do have a Hurricane as they do bring in the Berserker. Bringing in the Lucario here, and they're going to be shielding up by Power Up Punch and using their last shield as well. So we're going to go ahead and let this go. All right, and we're going to bring in the Mawile. We do have a Hurricane, and they are shieldless, so we have to be quick on our toes to figure out this situation. Bringing in the Mawile to finish off that Berserker. And I'm looking at the switch clock. So what we're going to have to do is just pay attention and then catch them right off guard as we bring in our Pelipper and go for Hurricane immediately right now. Go! Let's get it. And we're able to get this Hurricane here. Let's see what is in the back. Shieldless battle. And it is going to be Lucario. Alright, I don't know. This is going to be interesting. We do have a ton of energy. Going for the first power-up punch. And then the second one is going to be enough to take them out. And, whoa, no, we don't even get to it. No, the Fire Fangs are going to do it. Crazy. All right, next battle, met with a Whiscash. This is a good matchup for us here. Blizzard does a decent amount, but by the time we keep on spamming these Weather Balls or just get off a Hurricane, they're going to be pretty much out of here. While the backline doesn't want to see this whatsoever, so this is a perfect matchup here. All right, so we're going to let this Blizzard go, no problem. All right, hit me with that Blizzard. They swap, bringing in their Registeel, and we're going to just start vamping up our attack. I'm sure they're going to go for a Zap Cannon, and I'm sure it's going to get the attack drop, as it always does 100% of the damn time when these damn Registeels use it. It's insane. So there's the attack drop, so we're basically neutral now. Raising it again, so now we're only at +1, and we're able to counter them down at the expense of a shield here. Bringing in the Whiscash, going for the Power Punch. I do believe they survive with about 1 HP here. Yeah, and I think I shield this up. I want Lucario to just run through this team to see if we can. They have an Escavalier in the back, unfortunately, not able to get to that power-up punch. So we bring in the Pelipper, and things get a little bit crazy. So what's going to happen is they're going to build up to 2 Drill Runs. They're going to counter me down, and I thought I was going to lose. But what's going to happen is if we can get 1 Fire Fang through at this point, we'll win. Or 2. We got 1 and 2. That's it. They got to 2 Drill Runs, but they're not going to be able to tap the next one because we took them out. We survive. Oh, and we had the Pelipper in the back, and we take that win. Next battle, what are we going to see? A Ferrothorn. This is not great. So we're going to go ahead and swap into Lucario. They're going to bring it in their Skarmory. And we're going to go for the Power Punch after building up to Shadow Ball to see if we can get a shield out of them. And we do fantastic. And we're going to do that same thing. As much as I wanted to go for the Shadow Ball, I realized they're low on their health. And this is still going to do a decent amount after we raise our attack. So we're going to go for another one here. I do believe they're going to shield this one up as well. They just use Bolt Shield. Getting to the next Power Punch, they're going to get to the next Charge move. And we are going to shield it up because I do want to win this matchup after all of this. Might as well play the shieldless battle. Bring it in a Quagsire. This is not particularly horrible because Stone Edge is not going to take us out as we are at full health here. So we'll obviously have to let it go. Be on our toes. They're going to swap immediately into their Ferrothorn. And this is perfect. We should be able to get off a... Well, no. What we're going to do is we need to build up to Hurricane to take out the Quagsire. So we let these go here just so we have low enough health so they can't get too much farm to outpace us to a Stone Edge on their Quagsire, because we do need to get to the Hurricane. And that's going to be a wrap, folks. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.
Hey! So you're finally here! Fantastic!
You will see.